the very best it gets. Liverpool, Manchester City and Beyonce. It is your post-match pint. It is Neil Atkinson with Adam Melia and with James Sutton, and it is a pleasure. It was a phenomenal game of football. It was two great sides, but one side was that little bit greater than the other one. It was Liverpool, and James Sutton, I wouldn't be quite as ebullient about the whole thing had Liverpool not won the game by 3-1, but they do win the game by 3-1. They send Manchester City packing. I think it's the best Community Shield, Charity Shield I've ever seen. It was the absolute business.
I'm really, really delighted. Like I kind of convinced myself before the match that I wasn't that arsed. Like, do you know what I mean? Because these things, look, there's no ceremony around it. It's not a prestigious trophy. You go, well, it's a nice thing if you win it, but if you lose, it's not the end of the world. But fuck me, when we go out and play like that, it suddenly means an awful lot, doesn't it? I thought first half.
Both sides take it deadly. It's like they looked at each other and went, "Oh, we're doing this, are we? Watch this."
Absolutely, and it kind of it cements that rivalry, doesn't it? First half, I think we're absolutely brilliant for the first 30. I think we're absolutely fantastic. We've got more energy than them. We're pressing higher than them. Our high line is holding really, really well. We're absolutely fantastic, and we deservedly go in front as well. Second half, more of the same actually. There's great performances all over the pitch. There's so many things to be positive about, and look. Okay, it might not be the most prestigious trophy, but what it is success. It's success over 90 minutes against your biggest rival, and that fucking means something.
So the thing about the biggest rival thing, Adam, is, listen, let's be clear about this. Real Madrid end last season, and they beat Manchester City over two legs, and they beat Liverpool in a final. But I am of the view these are literally the two best teams on the planet, and that is what sort of happens as the game moves on. From the outset, it is like they sort of go, oh, okay, it's this then. And they're doing stuff all over the pitch, which is stuff you just wouldn't do against Liverpool or Manchester City, and the only two teams who've got the courage to do it are Liverpool and Manchester City. And so it becomes this feast of football. It really was. Again, I'll say it again, it obviously helps that we win in the end.
Yeah, I mean, well, so I think that we were... that these two teams are probably, as you say... whether they're the best teams in the world, it sort of doesn't matter because they're the best two teams in the country, and they don't get to play each other that often. So they almost need to learn how to play against each other and then learn how to play against everybody else. Yeah. I mean, when we turn it on like we did today, there's certainly no other team in the country that can live with us. And that's what I guess we got to see. Is Man City attempting to live with us and exert their own style and their own football on us? And as you say, it's a joy to watch. And it was a bit of a funny one. I think it's a funny one because it's earlier in the summer than normal. It's a funny one because it's in Leicester.
I was about to say, I found it a joy to watch because it's in Leicester.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't count towards points.
Yeah.
So it was the closest you get, not to like something from another sport, if you sort of know what I mean, where two of the greats from another sport, where it doesn't feel quite as emotionally involving, get to knock it out against one another. That's what it was like watching. It was like watching it in the very peak, Federer versus Nadal, where you're very committed to Federer, don't get me wrong, because he wears the blazers and he's much cooler, but simultaneously you're able to appreciate the brilliance of Nadal. It was all of that for me, and also it helped that it felt like it was still summer.
But don't you think it also increased as it went on?
Like those sorts of tennis matches.
Yeah,
actually.
It's a good comparison actually. It was like a 5-setter, but because I think I was probably still in my not that I wasn't bothered, but when Trent scores, I feel like that's a good pre-season goal.
Yeah.
If Trent scores that goal against City in the league, I go absolutely bananas, and I didn't. But by the time things come around and the game unfolds, decisions happen, and we end up where we are with Darwin scoring at the end. We all did go bananas, and absolutely brilliant to see that we can end up living it so much that, like, obviously the players all were, but it ended up being absolutely brilliant.
Well, and the players all wear is, for me, it's the storytelling of it, James. The players themselves, I'm sure the manager will have had certain conversations with them beforehand. They also understand it is not the same as winning a proper trophy won through the season. But when Darwin scores that goal, he gets mobbed by all of his teammates. He wasn't far off from the keeper, running 80 yards for him. They're all there. Van Dijk's there by the end of it. They're all there. The
shirts off.
Yeah, the shirts off. And that's the point. The point is the players themselves have gone through this journey of, no, we're fucking winning this here. And then, guess what? From a Liverpool point of view, they do.
All right, the Reds, to enjoy the rest of this video as well as all of our premium content, just click on the join button below and join our YouTube membership. You'll get all of our exclusive content, including our match previews, our post-match reaction, our exclusive interviews, and all the transfer chat about who is coming in and out. So yeah, share the journey with us, supporting Liverpool from the heart of the city. We're home, we're away. Come and share it with us. Up the Reds.